Om Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Vadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Yenakshara Samamnayam Adhigamya Maheshwarat Kritsnam Vyakaranam Proktam Tasmai Paninaye Namaha Vakyakaram Vararuchim Vashyakaram Patanjalim Paninim Sutrakarancha Pranatosmi Munitrayam Bhagartha Viva Samprikto Vagartha Pratipattaye Jagadav Pitaro Vande Parvati Parameshwaro Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Namaste, welcome. So we're here in our Kṛdanta section. So we've been looking at this section of Śatṛ Śānac, right? So we've seen Krityaha Karmani Krit. So Krityaha Karmani Bhāve. So Ya Tavya Aniya. We've seen Kartari Krit, that denote the Karta. So Trich will quip. We've seen these Nishtha, Kta and Tavatu. We've seen Śatṛ Śānac. So that's what we've been seeing for the last few classes. So we'll just conclude with this last one that's in that section, Vasu. And then if we get some time, we're going to look at the Bhāve. We're going to look at Lyut section. Okay, so we're making quite a far way in the book. We're getting through quite a big section of these Kṛdanta, which Kṛdanta makes up half the book. So that's a pretty good progress. So when we're looking at Śatṛ Śānac, we saw some examples last time. So we'll just continue on. I wanted to show us one last thing in this section, and it's for the suffix Vasu. Okay, so this is within Śatṛ Śānac, we're looking at one last suffix, Vasu. Just to locate where we are. Vasu is a substitute for Śatṛ. Okay, so it's still in that same sections of Śatṛ. If we remember, Śatṛ is a replacement for Parasmaipadi. Its replacement, it's added, sorry, not replacement, it's added to a Parasmaipadi Dhatu. So when it's P, you add Śatṛ. When it's A, you add Śānac. Right? But now, there's one optional substitute for Śatṛ, only for Vid Dhatu. Vid Dhatu, 2P, to know, then you don't get Śatṛ Śānac, you get Vasu. Okay? So, Vid plus Śatṛ becomes Vid plus Vasu. And finally, when they add it together, so Vid plus Vas, so U of Vasu is it. So finally, we're just left with Vas. Okay, so Vasu just becomes Vas. So Vid plus Vas becomes Vid Vas. Right? You just add it together. Vid Vas. Sakaranta ending Pratipadika. The meaning is one who is knowing. Right? Śatṛ is Kartari, right? It talks about the Karta, the one who is doing, the one who is doing the action. So Vid plus Śatṛ, one who is knowing, but that Śatṛ gets placed with Vasu. So Vid Vas. Okay, so this is an exception only for Vid Why we need to know that is because we often see this Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachanam form, Vidvan. Vidvan, we hear this word quite often. That comes from vid plus vas. Vidvas, 1-1 becomes Vidvan. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out because we see Vidvan, that it's originally a Shatru ending word, but it gets replaced by Vas, and we get Vidvas, 1-1 becomes Vidvan. Okay, so let's just chant this chart together. Okay. Vidvan, Vidvamso, Vidvamsaha, Vidvansam, Vidvamso, Vidushaha. Okay, so notice that change there, Vidushaha. Now it's just like Vidush. Okay, so Vidusha, Vidvadbhyam, Vidvadbihi, Vidushe, Vidvadbhyam, Vidvadbhyaha. You can continue to say with me, Vidushaha, Vidvadbhyam, Vidvadbhyaha. Vidushaha, Vidushoho, Vidusham, Vidushi, Vidushoho, Vidvatsu. He Vidvan, he Vidvamso, he Vidvamsaha. Okay. It's a little bit of a difficult conjugation. I know, I recognize that. We don't see Sakaranta so often. But this is, we just really wanted to see this for the purpose of seeing a Vidvan, and because we see that very often. So we see these first two cases a little bit more commonly.
I have a small question.
Go ahead.
In Tritiya Vibhakti, Dvivachan, and Chaturthi, the da is little unique. The after Vidvad, is this something new? Like you pronounce it differently?
No, it's just the has the line underneath, so it's not so it's Vidvad instead of Vidvada. So it's just reducing that, getting rid of that akara. For that reason, we'll have that viram on that tail there. So Vidvad Bhyam, not Vidvada Bhyam. Yeah. Okay. So that is the end of the Śatṛ Śānac section. So we've seen this. It has, if you know, just quickly, just as a review, I'll show you what we've seen. Śatṛ denotes the karta of parasmaipadi dhatu. The content is at, right? So Śatṛ becomes at. What happens is, yeah, so what we need to know for Śatṛ is karta, and it ends with at, right? Karta of parasmaipadi dhatu. When we're looking at Śānac, let me find Śānac, 1 second. Śānac denotes, it can denote karta of atmanepadi dhatu. It can denote karma or bhave, right? And the content is just ana. So this we've seen, right? So parasmaipadi goes for Śatṛ, atmanepadi goes for Śānac, but it can also be, if it's karmani prayoga, then you're going to take Śānac, right? Because when it's karmani prayoga, you're going to take atmanepada. It becomes atmanepadi. Okay, so that's for Śatṛ Śānac. Now let's go to the next section. The next section, if we look in this map of things, after Śatṛ Śānac, we look at these bhave suffixes. We'll see what bhave means in a second. Of course, it can denote other karakas, but this is the bhave section, really. Okay. We're going to start seeing with the word lyut. Okay, just to locate where we are. Okay. So what does bhava mean, bhave? So bhave, when we want to make a new pratipadika, which denotes bhava, bhava means the action itself. Okay, the action itself. That's what bhave means. When we want to do that, then we are going to add these krit pratyayas to a dhatu. Lyut, ghan, and tin. Okay, these three. Lyut, ghan, and tin. Okay, so let me give you an example. So lyut is suffixed to a dhatu to make a pratipadika denoting the action itself. Lyut is similar to the English suffix ing. So in English, we would say sleeping is a good remedy. Telling lies is not good. So you see that ing, it's referring to the act itself. Sleeping. It's not talking about the sleeper. It's not talking about, so they're not talking about the karta, it's not talking about the karana, the way of sleeping. It's talking about sleeping itself, the act of sleep. So it's bhave, meaning the action itself. Okay, so let's just focus on lyut today. Ganyan and tin have other added layers to it. So let's just focus on lyut. Okay. So as I said, we're talking about bhave, but lyut can also denote the karana and adhikarana. Okay, karana. So for example, karana we usually see when we put words in the third case, right? It's the instrument. But these karakas don't only go with the cases, right? They're independent entities. So this lyut can also be karane. It can be in the sense of instrumental, and it can also be adhikarane in the sense of location, what we generally connect with seventh case. Yeah? Okay, so bhave, karane, adhikarane. But this is kind of the way with Sanskrit. Really anything is possible based on shishta prayoga. Shishta prayoga means the usage, the natural usage in our Shruti and Smriti, right? The Vedas and Bhagavad Gita, for example, you might see these words, or our teachers, they might use these words in more karakas than what you see here. But when we're thinking of this lyut, you want to first think bhave, karane, adhikaran. The content of lyut is you. Okay, so which means lakara and takara are it letters. Okay, you is the content, but something funny happens here. You is converted to ana. It looks nothing like it, but there's a sutra that comes in. It says you becomes ana. A-N-A. Ana. Okay, so what we need to know is bhave and karane, but also this lut becomes ana. Okay, we need to remember that ana base. So as I just said, pratyaya is replaced by ana. Now this na of ana can become murdanya nakara. It can be subject to natwa because of the sandhi rule. Okay. And really the sandhi rule is that if you have rakara or shakara before nakara, then na can become murdanya nakara. So I'll just write that. Okay. Ra and sha, if they're before na, then sometimes they become murdanya nakara. They become this nakara. And guna can take place on the anga, as we've seen in other suffixes. Okay, so in this, when lut is in the sense of bhave, we use napumsaka linga. Okay, we always use napumsaka linga when we're talking about the action itself. And that kind of makes sense intuitively, right? Action doesn't have a gender, right? It is just the action, so we use napumsaka linga. When it's in the sense of karane or adhikarane, the gender is decided according to the forms by the usage of the learned people, right? We say shishta prayoga. So you kind of have to see how they use it. Okay. Lut ending words decline as a ending neuter, like jnana. Jnanam, jnane, jnanani. Okay, we'll see that again in a moment. Okay, we're going to skip the Vigraha Vakya for now. Okay, so far, what do we know? We know that we're talking about what suffix? Lut. Lut can be in the sense of three things: bhave, karane, and adhikaran. Okay, bhave, the action itself. Karane means instrument. Adhikarane means location, focus. We know that lut gets replaced by ana when we actually use it. Okay, so those three pieces of information we got to hold on to. Okay. So let's see an example. Derivation of the word jnana. So have you heard this word before? Jnana is actually a lut pratyaya anta word. Okay, now you never knew that. This is why it's called jnana, right? This is how you make the word jnana. Nya dhatu, we add lut. Okay, so lut is suffix to dhatu nya, to know. As I said, la and takara of lut are it letters. It letters are removed. Now there's this sutra that comes in. It says yuvor nako. Yuvoho. Yeah, we don't need to go into the sutra. It'll add too much complication. But basically, the pratyaya yu is replaced by an. Okay, so lut, you becomes ana. You just add them together. Savarna dirgha, right? When you have a plus a, it becomes a. So nya plus ana becomes jnana, and now this is a new pratipadika. Okay. Being a lut pratyaya anta pratipadikam, lut suffix ending word, jnana is a neuter word and declines as a ending neuter pratipadika. When it is bhave vyutpatti, the meaning of jnanam. So when it's just referring to the action itself, the meaning of jnanam is knowing. Right? Knowing is jnanam. Okay? But in the shishta prayoga, the usage, they also decline, they use the meaning can be seen in different ways, right? So, for example, sometimes we use jnanam in karmani vyutpatti. Okay, meaning that it's going to denote the karma. So usually bhave, karane, adhikarane, but sometimes depending on the usage, it can also refer to other things, right? So here is an example. Karmani vyutpatti, the meaning will be the object of knowing. Same word, but it can, depending on the intention of the speaker, it can mean the object of knowing. Jnayate iti jnanam. Or the same word can be seen, again, depending on the speaker, can be karane vyutpatti, and the meaning is the instrument or means of knowledge. So it's like the pramana. So the vigraha vakya is jnayate anena iti jnanam. That through which something is known is jnanam. Okay. So let me pause here. Any questions so far? You can unmute yourself. Okay, we haven't gone into all these vigraha vakyas yet. I
What
just
is
wanted to give.
What is jnaptihi?
Yeah. Jnapti. So I said, so, okay. So when we're in bhave vyutpatti, the meaning of jnanam is knowing, right? Now, if I want to give an explanation, I give another bhave ending suffix, okay? Now, we haven't seen this suffix, that's why I skipped it, but there's another one called ti, K-T-I. Thin is eventually. So we're going to see that in our next class at some point. So if I nya plus thin, it becomes jnaptihi eventually. But it's still bhave. That suffix that I'm adding is also bhave. So it's going to give the same meaning as this bhave word. So if I want to say jnapti, I would say jnaptihi iti jnanam. Knowing is knowing. Right? You just use another word with a different suffix to explain this word. You use the same dhatu with a different suffix to explain this word. That's what jnapti is. Okay. Let's see another one. Even the word karana. Right? Karane, we say karane tritiya or karana tritiya. Karane means instrument. But we have to see how it's derived, and then we can go from there. So if I have Kṛdanta plus lut. So krit pratyaya lut is suffixed to dhatu kr. La and takara of lut are it letters, they're removed. So I'm left with just u. By this rule, the pratyaya u is replaced by ana. So u becomes ana. Now, in the anga itself, sometimes you can get guna. So guna of r is a, which is followed by refa. So kr becomes kar. Kar plus ana. Now remember when I said that if there's a rakara or shakara, the na of an can become murdanya nakara. So now I have kar plus ana. Ana. right? So putting it all together, I get karana. Karana. Okay, so that's how this is made. Okay. So the meaning of this word, okay, if I'm saying bhave, I can say acting or I can say action. Acting or action can both be an explanation for the word karana. Okay, so it just means that. But if I do it in karane vyutpatti, I can use the word karana and I can do karane vyutpatti, then I would say, then it would be the instrument of doing. Okay, so the same word can be seen, you have to see what is the intention. This is where Vigraha Vakya, and I see there's a question about Vigraha Vakya sent to me. A Vigraha Vakya, a Vakya means sentence. Vigraha simply means explanatory. Explanatory sentence. The sentence which explains the meaning of the word. Okay. So you'll often see in some Vedanta classes that a teacher will say something like this. Kriyate anena iti karanam. What they're doing is they're giving the exact explanation of how this word, they're giving the exact explanation of the meaning of the word. This is what we call Vigraha Vakya, a sentence which explains the meaning of the word. Now, we don't know, is karana, is it bhave, or we don't know if the intention is karane vyutpatti. So the teacher usually has to explain these words, which intention is it used with. Okay, is it the instrument of doing, or is it the action itself? Okay, those are two different things, right? Is it the instrument of doing it, or is it the action itself? So that the teacher will explain through the Vigraha Vakya. Okay, what I wanted to do is this. One second, I'm just going to pull up another page on my computer. Okay. So let me share here. Okay. So this is right, as we know this declension of Napumsaka Linga, but right, this is how we decline jnana, and this is how we decline karana. This is how we decline any of the words. Right? So like so let's do jnana. If you can close your eyes, you can close your eyes. If you want to chant it before me, I'll go slowly, or you can chant along with me, whatever works. Okay. So jnanam, jnane, jnanani. Second case, jnanam, jnane, jnanani. Third case, jnanena, jnanabhyam, jnanaihi. Fourth case, jnanaya, jnanabhyam, jnanebhyaha. Fifth case, jnanat, jnanabhyam, jnanebhyaha. Sixth case, jnanasya, jnanayoho, jnananam. Seventh case, jnane, Jnanayoho, Jnaneshu. He Jnana, he Jnane, he Jnanani. Okay, how did we do? So, it's okay. So, we did okay. All right. So let's see another word. Let's take the word that we were using. Karana. See, here they translated the instrument, but doesn't always have to mean the word instrument. It can also mean the action itself, right? Depending on how it's derived. But let's use the word karana. Okay. Karanam, karane, karanani. Karanam, karane, karanani. Karanena, karanabhyam, karanaihi. Karanaya, karanabhyam, karanebhyah. Karananat, karanabhyam, karanebhyah. 6 is karanasya, karanayoho, karananam. 7th case, karane, karanayoho, karaneshu. He karana, he karane, he karanani. Okay. So there's a question in the chat. Is karane tritiya the same karana? It is the same karana. Okay. But here, karana is in karane. Okay, let me explain what I mean. Okay. Right, if we're declining it, so okay. 7th case of karana is what? Karane. Okay. When I use 7th case, I can say in the sense of. In the sense of what? Karana. Okay, so that's what karane means. In the sense of karane. Similarly, if I say karmani, in the sense of karma. Adhikarane, I'm putting all these words in 7th case in the sense of adhikarana. Okay, so anyway, so karane. In the sense of karana. Now the word karana is described, it's usually in the sense of instrument. Right? So karane would be in the sense of instrument. In English, when they call this instrumental. Okay, so the means of doing something, etc. Now we're just adding a different layer that's showing that karana doesn't always have to be in karane. It can be, but let's not get too complicated. Karana is usually in karane. It usually means the means of doing something. The means of doing. Okay. Let's see one more example. And then we'll conclude. Okay. Shru plus lut, we're making the word shravana. Right? Shravanam, you've heard. So this is where it comes from. Shravana. Shru plus lut. Lut becomes you. You becomes ana. Now guna can take place. So shru becomes shro. This is the 4th step. Shru can become shro. So shro plus ana. Now we have forgotten all of our sandhi rules. So we need to go back and look at our sandhi rules. But when I have O next to akara, O followed by the vowel becomes of by this sandhi, ayavayava sandhi. Okay, we have to review some of these rules, but O becomes of, so it becomes shav plus ana. we have a rakara here. So by natva sandhi rule, the nakara of ana is replaced by na because of refa, because of rakara. Finally, we're just left with shavana. Shavana means hearing or the act of hearing in bhave vyutpatti. In the sense of bhave means just the action. So in the sense of bhava, bhava means actions. Okay. So here's just an introduction to lut. Lut being ana, and it giving the sense of bhave, karane, adhikarane, or shishta prayoga, however it's used. So we'll continue with this when we meet next. Okay. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.